Okay, right
Careful,
here.
careful. Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Wow, look at that.
Okay, scoot it back. See if my little rolly cart works. You kind of have to push it, huh? On the bottom. Oh well, that's okay. We're not rolling it lots of places.
Yeah.
So because I'm turning 43, I decided what I really wanted the big.
I got her a really good gift.
He
for
got
her
me
birthday.
a semen tank of goat semen. So this is actually going to be a really fun adventure. So hopefully you guys have fun following along. Okay, so we've had a lot of questions when I first kind of talked about it on my Instagram Q&A, and we're going to go over them because I'm sure you have a lot. So why am I getting, okay, so I decided I needed to have better genes, better bucks, but I can't always buy the best bucks. A lot of these breeders keep the bucks for themselves, and they do though, they sell the semen that you can do artificial insemination with. If you've been following us a long time, you've probably noticed that we've tried it in the past, but I have since learned a lot more than then. I've learned that Nigerian dwarf goats, this breed that we have, they're very sensitive to artificial insemination. They have longer heat cycles, and the timing has to be really perfect. So I have been talking to a lot of breeders who have had success with this, and I think we can do it. This is a liquid nitrogen tank. It has to be refilled every 4 months. So we have a guy come by with a huge tank and refills it for us, and as long as it's filled up, then that sperm is gonna last a long time, like forever. It can last years and years and years, so we don't have to worry about that. I got 4 different bucks semen. I got 5 straws from each buck, so that should give me enough to get going and start practicing with this. They're not all mixed together in there. That's a question that I got a lot on the Instagram Q&A. We didn't just like pour the semen in there and mix it all up with a straw. They are in different little straws, and I can't show you them because I don't want to take them out. You got to be really, really careful with it. You don't want to thaw it.
Stay frozen.
Gotta stay frozen. So they're in individual straws with labels on them, and they're stored in there. And then we'll take one out, inseminate a doe, and everything's gonna work out perfectly.
It's gonna work perfect.
So because AI is kind of tricky, it's not gonna replace our bucks. We're still gonna have bucks here as a backup.
This is kind of the first option because it's the best of the best, and so if it works, good. If not, then we have the backup
then we
bucks.
have the backup ones. Also, AI can't really be done on first fresheners, or we call them first fresheners, but they're first timers, dry yearlings. So all the babies we're raising up, they have to have a live buck. It just doesn't, the success rates aren't as high. So we always will need a buck for that reason. So I'm gonna do this all by myself with Kevin as a helper, but I'm not gonna use a vet for this. I'm gonna use other breeders who have had success and rely on their mentorship as we get this done. So to keep this very basic, how it's gonna work is we're gonna watch our does to watch for them to come into heat. We're gonna set a timer, do the timing exactly right. We're also gonna be checking on the does to see if the timing's right.
It's also a natural heat, right? So it's way better than like an artificial heat that we bring them into like we did last time.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So some breeders have had success with using medications to like induce heat, but with Nigerians, they don't do as well on that. So we're gonna just go with the natural heats, and those usually work the best. So we got 5 bucks in here. If it doesn't work, we'll have a backup buck, but this will be interesting. So
actual bucks aren't in there, just
their special, yeah. I'm gonna go more into this throughout the summer as I start checking the does for heat and I start getting the timing right, and then start AIing. It'll be later, probably August, that will start, but
it's gonna be
fun.
really cool. Yeah, it's exciting.
A new member of the family.
I know, right in our living room. I wanted to show. Look at that. There's 6 canes in here, and each cane can hold, I don't know, a lot of straws.
And you've got them written down so we don't confuse.
I've got it all organized on which buck I have and which cane. Oh, I've got a fancy, my herd name on the front.
Oh my gosh.
Well, these girls are not happy. It's okay. It's gonna be like a 10-minute drive. You're okay. We're heading to linear appraisal. This is our first one ever because they haven't come to Arizona for a few years. Now, the only thing is we can't film at the linear appraisal. It's kind of a bummer. But we will give you the results. We'll show how they did afterwards. Basically, we take them in front of a judge, walk them around, and she measures different parts of them and sees how they appraise or how they measure up to the standard perfect goat. There's no such thing as a perfect goat, but you see which traits basically you need to improve on. About a week ago, Kevin got to work clipping our goats. It's really nice to get a lot of the winter fluff off and to really make them shine. It's such a messy job, I hate it. Kevin is so good that he doesn't mind doing it. Meanwhile, I got to work on defluffing Willow because we have to bring Willow to the linear appraisal. It's a requirement that you bring all does who have ever freshened. So Willow had to come because she has had kids before. She has freshened or been in milk. So Willow had to come. Luna's not registered, so she doesn't have to come. And when she goes, she's not going to necessarily get scored. The judge excused her, but we do have to prove that she's not in milk. I ended up having Kevin not clip Winona or Honey. Winona, she already looked really good and he was getting kind of tired, so I said, you know what, just leave it. And then Honey, I wasn't really sure Honey would score that well, and the judges say that it doesn't matter if they're clipped or not, they still get the same score. So I decided, let's not clip Honey. So now we're back and I can share the final scores for our goats. Real quick, let me just show what we're looking for in a linear appraisal. First, goats are scored on individual traits. And you can see on here that you want to go right in the middle. So getting a 45 in all of these categories isn't necessarily a good thing or what you're aiming for. It just means that they're on this far extreme. So what we want is something right down the middle or maybe a little above the middle. We just don't want to really see any big extremes. After the judge scores on all these individual traits, there are 4 major categories that are assigned a letter designation rating. And this is how ideal this goat is, how perfect, I guess you could say. Obviously, the top score would be an E 100, but 100 is never really given to a goat, especially Nigerians. Nigerian dwarf goats, this breed that we raise, the highest that a Nigerian dwarf goat has ever received has been a 93, I think. I'm pretty sure about that. So getting a 90 is really great. Getting the high 80s is really great. That's what you're shooting for. But mostly you're just making sure that there are no major defects. And here is what each of our goats ended up scoring, which I'm really happy with. Daphne got a VE 90, which is amazing. Reba got a VE 88. River got a GG 83, which is really good for a 1-year-old first freshener. 1-year-olds aren't really allowed to get high scores. They're not mature enough to really get those high scores, so it's really nice to see that good of a score on her as a 1-year-old. Winona got a GAVG 79. Honey got a GAVF 77. So this gives me a lot of good information to look at and to try to determine which traits need to be improved, which bucks to use, and who I want to keep breeding. Now, appraisals are better than going to shows because shows are really subjective. You're just looking at all the goats in your local area and the judge is picking the best ones subjectively, kind of who they think looks the best. They're fun to go to, but they're not really where you're going to get exact information on which trait excels and which trait kind of needs to be improved. So looking at this information gives me a lot of good feedback. I really have been looking at which bucks I'll breed to these girls and how I want to move forward.
Hi, Kitty. Can I sit by you?
All right, we're back from linear appraisal, and I've had a realization. I had to do this, guys. So you guys already know that Honey's gonna go to a pet home. That's already been decided. I went ahead and did the linear appraisal just so that we could, so I could get a baseline since I'm gonna continue to keep kids down that line. I wanted to see where we started and where we end up. So I got her appraised, but Honey's still gonna go to a pet home. The next thing is, for my mental health, I have to sell Winona. Now, there are a lot of things I love about her, body structure wise, but I cannot stand the screaming. It's never ending. It's all day long. I don't know what her problem is. It's a lot. And for my mental health and my peace of mind, I could not have her stay here any longer. And I've realized something, that you look at all these traits and you're trying to breed for a goat that has all this longevity and can be healthy and, you know, well structured, but I need an animal also that has a good personality, because I have to work with that animal every day, multiple times a day. I have to lead them into the milking stand, I have to milk them. This is my home and I can't have it destroyed by one goat that makes my life just hell. I first thought it was because she was addicted to the grain, but now I just think she's just like that. So from the breeding program, we're cutting Honey, we're cutting Winona, but I'm keeping 2 of their daughters. So I feel better about, you know, trying to work with those lines still, but not have those does. But I did love both of Winona's daughters. In fact, I would have kept both had I not already had a reservation for Miss Junebug. I think as I look at them, I think Junebug might be better than Duchess here that we kept, but that's okay. I just want to see them raised up and see how they do. Then finally, I've also decided to go ahead and send Finnick to a new home. Finnick is our buck that we bought in 2022, and he did improve a lot of things. A lot of good shoulder, leg structure, but I didn't see an improvement on the udders. And as I look at new bucks, and now I have a semen tank full of, you know, potential suitors, I realized that I don't think I would use Finnick again. And I don't want him to just be here and not be used. Gotta make these cuts as I move towards, you know, improving my herd. Remember, I raise up goats to see how they do, see if they're gonna work in the breeding program that I have laid out. And if they don't, then they get sent to a new home. Genetics are just interesting like that. Sometimes you don't know what you're gonna get, and sometimes you get something really great, and sometimes you don't get exactly what you're looking for, and that's part of the game. So I've decided to breed for calm, good personality, as well as all the other things. We'll see if we get that. So I have something fun to share. I had a subscriber reach out with drawings that they had made of all of the goats, and I gotta show you them. Here's one of Willow. Is that so cute? There's Luna there. Here's some of the baby goats we've had in the past. So I asked her to make drawings of all of our goats, past and present, and you guys can get them as stickers. So I have them listed on our shop. This is Finnick as he's trying to jump over the fence. This is Prim, you know, prim and proper. This is so cute. This is Tatum with her little babies. Remember her little babies? So I have them listed on our merch site, just little stickers if you want to get them. So whether they still live here or not, you can snag a sticker of them, of your favorite one, and put it on your water bottle. That. Aww. Luna. She's gonna get challenged a bit by these 2 ladies. How you doing there, Luna? She thinks I'm gonna take her away. She finally gets to be out after the winter in the lodge, or a couple months in the lodge. So now here's who we have left. We've got 3 good solid milkers I'm really happy with. We've got Daphne, Reba, and River. And then we have our retired girls, Luna and Willow. So that's a very small amount of goats, but we're raising up a bunch and we're gonna really try to build out a really nice herd. There's Daphne, there's River, there's Reba, and then we've got our Luna and Willow. It's pretty crazy that we don't have Tilly anymore. We don't have Honey, we don't have Winona. Finnick over there is gone. Nice little crew here. Uh-oh, Luna's gonna show them who's boss. She's still the boss, guys, even though she's 13 and a half now. She is the boss.
13 and 3/4.
All she has to do is lift up those big ears of hers, and then they're like, okay, okay. They back down.
Yeah.
Babies! Come on, babies! Hi! Are you ready for this? Let's see if we can do it. Let's see how good Kevin...
Let's see.
Oh my goodness. Twyla! You got it?
Got it.
Oh my goodness. Can they get out of that? I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, next one. She's trying to eat it.
Yeah. You can eat it. You can eat it.
That's a perfect height. I'm glad I did it that height. Oh my gosh. So hard to do this, yeah. Dang it, I was trying to think of the best way to do it.
Oh, they're strong.
They are strong. Okay, last one, cricket. They do not like this. Welcome to our first installment of leash training, which is gonna be really fun. Now, you only hook a goat to a tether or to a fence or something if you're standing there watching them the whole time, because they can easily choke themselves. But right now, what we're teaching them is patience. Being held right here and not going anywhere. This is not just for showing. This is actually really important for all types of leading goats different places, and it just teaches them manners. I don't know if you guys know this, but goats don't really naturally have good manners. So it's always interesting to see how long it takes for the first one to give in. You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna be the first one to finally just go, okay, I will be good.
Wednesday's doing pretty good.
Yeah, Wednesday's not too bad. Surprising. I would think she'd be naughty, but she's pretty good. Yeah, just hang out. You don't need to do anything but just be patient and wait.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give them about 10 minutes this first time, and then we'll keep going every day until they learn to stand there and be patient. Now, we made sure that they're not very tight. They're nice and loose, actually, if they hold their head up and they just stand there. If they fight it, it's tight. So, interesting to see which one is gonna finally give in. Come on, mamas! Don't mess with the babies, just leave them alone. Come on. Doing so good. Look at Twyla, she's so good. You're a good girl, so patient. The best well-behaved one gets released first. Twyla, are you such a good girl? You're such a good girl. Okay, yeah, Wednesday is definitely best. Second best. I feel like Cricket's loud, but she's better. I don't know, you choose. Duchess? Okay. Come on. Then Cricket for last. Oh, she's okay. It's hard. Okay, come on. Good girl. Look at those cute. Oh, but it was so cute. They were all in a row. Well, thanks for joining us in today's video. We've got a lot of exciting things coming up. I'm really excited to start artificial insemination. I've been studying up. I got this. Also, our reservation list for next year is gonna go live on May 1st. I wanted to let you guys know if you guys are interested. If you wanna get a kid out of any of our does or any of our really cool pairings for next year, I'll put the link below and you can check it out on May 1st. It feels really good to be done with kidding season because now I can move forward raising up the babies, focusing on the milking mamas that I have here, and slowly build out my herd. But also we're going to, as the summer approaches, we'll go to one show, but then we're also gonna head up north to work on our fun little cottage, and then the kids will be home from college. It will be so fun. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.